Failure doesn't knock. It doesn't warn you. It just shows up, quietly. And one day, it's everywhere. Failure doesn't kick the door down or scream your name. It arrives like a shadow, growing longer every day, until one morning you realize it's the only thing left in the room. For Ethan Cole, failure sounded like silence. No phone calls, no emails, no footsteps outside his apartment door. Just the low hum of the refrigerator, a dying light bulb flickering, and unanswered questions pressing heavy against his chest. At 27, Ethan sat on the edge of his bed in a one-room apartment that smelled like dust and cold coffee. The walls were bare, not by choice, but because everything that once mattered had already been sold or thrown away. The alarm rang at 6:30 a.m. He didn't move. It rang again. Still nothing. The third time, the screen lit up, a notification he already knew by heart. Bank balance, $14.62. Ethan exhaled slowly and stared at the ceiling. A crack ran from one corner to the other. He'd been watching it grow for months, little by little, just like everything else in his life. He sat up, rubbed his face, and laughed quietly. Not because anything was funny, but because sometimes laughter is the only sound that keeps the darkness from getting too loud. "This wasn't the plan," he whispered. 5 years earlier, he'd stood on a graduation stage, pressed suit, bright lights, loud applause. His parents cried. Professors told him he was going places. Now the only place he went was from his bed to the sink and back again. He believed in effort. Work hard, stay disciplined, do the right thing. That was supposed to be enough. But the city didn't reward effort. It took everything and gave nothing back. The first rejection hurt. The 10th felt personal. By the 100th, it felt permanent. Thank you for your interest. We've decided to move forward with other candidates. Over and over and over again. The days after rock bottom didn't feel different. That surprised Ethan. He had expected something, panic, clarity, maybe even a strange sense of relief. Instead, life continued with the same dull rhythm it always had. The same gray light through the window, the same silence in the room, the same weight in his chest. Failure didn't explode. It lingered. Friday came and went. The deadline passed. The landlord didn't knock again, not immediately. That silence felt worse than confrontation. It was the kind that suggested decisions had already been made without him. Ethan stopped checking the time. Morning and night blended together. He slept when exhaustion won, woke when his body decided it had rested enough. Meals became optional. Hunger felt distant, like something that happened to other people. He moved slowly now, as if any sudden motion might crack something already fragile inside him. On Sunday evening, he found himself standing in front of the bathroom mirror longer than necessary. The light above it buzzed faintly. His reflection stared back, unfamiliar. Not dramatic, not broken in a visible way, just worn down. His shoulders slumped naturally now, as if they'd learned the shape of disappointment. His eyes avoided their own reflection, sliding away as soon as they met. This is what giving up looks like, he thought, and the realization scared him, not because he was afraid of quitting, but because a part of him already had. The longest nights. Night was the hardest. During the day, distractions existed, small ones, meaningless ones, but enough to keep his mind from spiraling completely. At night, there was nowhere to hide. The city outside his window kept breathing. Cars passed, sirens wailed in the distance. Somewhere, people were living full lives, arguing, laughing, planning futures. Ethan lay in bed, staring at the dark ceiling, replaying every decision that had led him here. The move to the city, the jobs he didn't get, the risks he didn't take, the chances he missed because he was afraid of failing, and the ones he missed because he assumed failure was inevitable. sleep came in fragments. When it did, his dreams weren't dramatic. No falling, no chasing, just endless rooms with locked doors, endless hallways leading nowhere. He woke up one night with his heart racing. The thought lodged firmly in his mind. What if nothing changes because nothing is supposed to? That thought stayed with him. A life on pause. By the middle of the following week, Ethan realized he hadn't spoken out loud to anyone in days. The sound of his own voice startled him when he finally did, muttering an apology to no one after knocking over an empty glass. He checked his phone out of habit more than hope. No messages, no missed calls. He considered reaching out to someone, anyone, but the effort felt overwhelming. What would he even say? Hey, I failed. I'm not okay. I don't know what I'm doing. He imagined the silence on the other end, the awkward reassurance, the well-meaning advice that wouldn't fix anything. So he didn't send anything. Isolation became routine, and routine made it dangerous, because the longer he stayed like this, the more normal it felt. The weight of almosts. One afternoon, while searching for something to eat, Ethan opened a drawer he hadn't touched in months. Inside was an old notebook. The cover was bent, the pages yellowed slightly. He didn't remember putting it there. He flipped it open. Plans, goals, ideas written in confident handwriting. He'd forgotten how sure he used to sound. 5-year plan, skills to master, places to live. The version of himself who wrote this believed time was on his side. Ethan closed the notebook quickly, as if it might accuse him. He sat on the floor, back against the cabinet, holding it anyway. The hardest part of failure, he realized, wasn't losing money or status. It was carrying the ghost of who you almost became. A different kind of tired. There came a morning when Ethan realized something had shifted, not improved, just changed. He wasn't sad anymore. He was numb. The sharp edges of panic had dulled. The constant ache of disappointment had faded into something flatter, heavier. This scared him more than the pain ever had. Pain meant he still cared. Numbness meant he was adapting. He spent that day doing nothing productive. He didn't apply for jobs, didn't learn anything new, didn't even pretend to try. He just existed. That night, as he lay in bed, the question returned, louder this time. Is this the rest of my life? Not as a fear, as a genuine possibility. The breaking point that didn't look like one. The moment that changed everything didn't arrive with drama. It arrived quietly, while Ethan was washing his face in the sink. The water ran cold. His hands rested on the porcelain edge. He looked up and caught his reflection again. This time, he didn't look away. He studied his face carefully, like he was seeing it for the first time, not judging, not criticizing, just observing. And something inside him shifted, not upward, not hopeful, but honest. He wasn't unlucky, he wasn't cursed, he wasn't special. He was avoiding responsibility for his own stagnation because admitting it felt unbearable. The realization stung, but it also cleared something. He straightened slightly, turned off the water, and for the first time since everything had collapsed, he said something truthful out loud. I don't know how to fix this. The room stayed silent, but the honesty felt grounding. The smallest choice. Ethan didn't suddenly feel motivated. He didn't feel inspired, but he felt done with pretending. That night, instead of lying in bed scrolling through nothing, he opened his laptop, not to apply for jobs, not to plan a comeback, just to understand. He searched for one skill, one thing he could learn without needing permission, money, or validation. The video he clicked wasn't exciting. The instructor's voice was flat. The progress was slow. After 10 minutes, he almost closed it. Then he stopped. You don't need to like this, he thought. You just need to finish it. So he did. When the video ended, nothing dramatic happened. No surge of hope, no sudden clarity. But when he shut the laptop, something felt slightly different. Not better, just less stuck. sitting with discomfort. Ethan slept that night, not deeply, but uninterrupted. In the morning, the same problems waited for him, the same bank balance, the same uncertainty, but the sense of paralysis had cracked. He didn't make a plan. He didn't promise consistency. He made one decision. I'll sit with discomfort instead of running from it. That meant doing things badly, learning slowly, facing rejection without spiraling. It wasn't heroic, it was practical. And for the first time in months, practicality felt like relief. The edge of change. The days that followed weren't easier, but they were intentional. Ethan still doubted himself, still felt behind, still feared he'd fail again. But now, failure wasn't hypothetical. He'd already lived it, and somehow survived. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the buildings outside his window, Ethan realized something important. Rock bottom didn't destroy him. It had stripped him of illusions, of excuses, of the version of himself that waited to be chosen. What remained wasn't confidence, it was willingness, and that was enough to begin. That night, Ethan sat at his desk again, not hopeful, not certain, but present. The room was still small, the future still unclear, but for the first time, he wasn't asking whether life would change. He was asking what he would do next. And that question, quiet, uncomfortable, and honest, was the beginning of everything.